So I wanted to start something a little different. I've had a number of strange kind of experiences that have happened in my life. And I thought that I would start sharing some of them. I think I'm going to start with the one of the first. I mean, I remember things from when I was like. I started remembering things from when I was like 3 years old. So I remember a lot of things, but I think I want to start with some of the stories about like paranormal things that have happened to me. So, um, the first one is my first real memory of something weird happening that stood out and like really is not like a supernatural like entity sort of sense, but like something happened and it was kind of interesting because so when I was like 7 years old at this time. My mom was dating a guy who is actually my youngest sister's dad. And so he wasn't exactly the greatest guy. Like, he was probably one of my mom's worst boyfriends. And he, like I was saying, he was one of her worst boyfriends, so he didn't treat her very good. And there was this instance where I had went and I was gone for a weekend visiting with my dad. And I came back home and my mom couldn't find her boyfriend, and she was worried about where he was. They were, at the time, my sister was a baby, and she was in the NICU, and there was just a bunch of things going on. And my mom wanted to find out where her boyfriend was so that they could deal with, the baby and things like that. And she got into the car, and she couldn't find him, and she had called him, and she looked for him, and he wasn't where he was supposed to be. And so she decided to go looking for him. And she went over to the other end of town where there was this lady's house. And I remember that my little brother was in the car. My sister was still in the hospital. My mom got out of the car and she said, just stay here and wait. I'll be right back. And I didn't think it was going to take her very long. So, I was a good kid. I listened to my mom and my dad pretty well. When they told me to stay put, I would stay put. And to keep an eye on my little brother, who was about 2 years old at this time. And my mom went inside, and she was doing with whatever she was dealing with. And it got to the point where I had been waiting for a while, and I ended up needing to go to the bathroom. And I held it for a while until I kind of couldn't anymore. And I decided that I was going to take my little brother and I was going to go up and find out if I could use the bathroom real fast. And I knocked on the door. My mom answered, and she said, "What are you doing? I told you to go and to wait in the car, to stay in the car." And I was like, "Mom, I need to go to the bathroom." She's all, "Oh, okay." And I could tell that she was upset. And I could tell that she wasn't very happy with what was going on. But I didn't know exactly what was going on. And she tells me, "Go ahead, go in the bathroom, go in the bathroom." So I go in the bathroom, I do my thing. And I come to walk out, and I slowly walk out, and I'm kind of looking out, and I'm, I don't know anybody in this house. But as I walk out of the bathroom, there's like a wraparound couch, and there were 5 people on it, and my mom's boyfriend was in the middle, and there was a woman on the end, and then there were a couple of other people on this end, and there was another woman between my mom's boyfriend and this other woman. And my mom was like, I got a feeling, and she didn't know that I had come out of the bathroom, so she was in the middle of talking and saying whatever her piece was, and she was very upset. And she said something like, "I can tell you're not being honest, and I know that something's going on here, and you're just not, you're not coming clean about it." And I walked up to my mom, and I looked around, and I looked over here at this lady on the end. She had dark hair. My mom has dark hair too. She's Native American. And something about her was different. Like, there was just this something. And I looked at her, and there was just this strange energy attached to her. Like, I just couldn't figure out what it was. But she just had this guilty all over her kind of aura. And at the time, I didn't know what an aura was. And I grabbed on my mom's sleeve and I was like, Mom, it's her. And Mom looks down at me and she's all, what are you talking about? You just need to go back on, take your brother, go back. Mom, stop, listen. Pull on her sleeve again. It's her. And I point at her. And I look at her. And the woman's eyes catch mine. And she's all. And I said, it's you. And I looked right at her and I pointed at her. It's you. You're the one. No. Her eyes are so big. Like quarters. No, I don't know. No, what? My mom turns to me. Now you just stop it. She looks at her boyfriend and she's all, I'm going to figure out what's going on here. And I'm going to go deal with my kids right now because that's what's more important. And she went ahead and she left. Well, a few days went by. And I was off with, I think I was with my aunt. My brother was too. And we got brought back. And my mom had apparently gotten into an argument with this woman after we left. And come to find out, she came clean because, like I said, my sister's dad wasn't the greatest man. And he was having an affair with this woman. And he had been run off up in her bed while my mama was waiting for him to come back home to go to see the baby. That was my little sister who was in an ICU. And she later on told me, she said, it's the strangest thing. I don't know how you knew that it was her. How'd you know it was her? And I just was like, Mama, I don't know. There was something all over her. She just seemed so guilty. And out of all those people there, I'd never seen her in my life, but I knew she was the one. And all these years later, that memory has always been one of the ones that really stood out to me, that made me realize that I was different. That I had an ability to sense things with people that was a little bit strange. And I mean, I dismissed that and I didn't think anything of it. But as I go on to continue to tell you all these kind of supernatural, paranormal stories that I've experienced with different people in different parts of the world. I mean, I've only actually been in North America, but in different parts of the country in North America. And just the kinds of experiences that I've had. And I've had quite a number of interesting ones, and that one is just the first one I thought that I would share with you guys. And I mean, that one's not scary or really too otherworldly, but there are some that are kind of a little bit, they're kind of scary. So I will be sharing more of those as I go forward into the fall season. I thought this would be an interesting, fun thing to do, to give a little bit more insight about myself, to kind of familiarize a little bit more with my TikTok audience and those who are following me. I am an author and a screenwriter. That is my first and foremost thing to do, but I have a lot of interests, and I'm kind of an eclectic person, so I'm an activist and an advocate. So I really just wanted to kind of, interconnect with different people and different followers here and give you a little bit of an idea of who I was, and to share some of my interesting little experiences with you all as I get to know you better. And hopefully you'll find them interesting, and you'll find my content to be something that's thought-provoking and lead you in a direction to learn something new, because to me that's the number one priority every day. Go through every day learning something new, and by the time you're old, you will be quite knowledgeable. That was something that my father told me at 4 years of age, and has stuck with me every day since, and I have kept it at the forefront of my thoughts every day since as well. So I really enjoy sharing experiences and learnings, and if I can share something from you or learn from you, the more the merrier, right? Thanks again.